You've got 1071 The Monkey. It's James Steele joined with Valerie Katz. So on June 1st, Carrie Duncan made a post on her Facebook page. Carrie Duncan, the meteorologist over there at WLOX, Channel 13. But this post was unlike many of hers. This post included an email that was sent to her. 2 paragraphs of negativity in this email, mainly focusing on Carrie's weight. We have Carrie Duncan from WLOX on the show. Carrie, how are you?
Doing well, doing well.
It's kind of a weird question for me to ask when, you just read a Facebook post, then all of a sudden the next day it's all over the world.
It's just crazy. Like, I've been getting a lot of emails from Canada because Yahoo Style Canada picked it up this weekend. I've gotten a couple of letters from the UK, and then like the Telegraph wrote a article on it today, and it was like, brilliant response. And I was like, I love the word brilliant. I also love to act like I have a British accent every now and again.
Now, Carrie, you realize that when you type in Carrie into Google, the first name that comes up now is Duncan.
Wow.
I'm guessing you weren't expecting that to happen?
I really didn't think it would honestly have that much traction because, as you know, this is not necessarily anything new. This was an especially hateful email, I will say.
It sure was.
But we all anybody in the public eye tends to get these emails.
Right.
But I don't think people outside of the business really understand it. And so it just really hit me Thursday. I was off last week. I was on vacation, and I was just staying home. And I had both my kids with me, and I read this email, and I was like,
What is that first initial feeling?
Well, initially, I get like this warm flash, and I'm like, and then it's like a train wreck. You're like, why are you still reading it? And I did. I just kept reading it.
When it just got more and more hateful through the email, too, because I read it. I mean, this person that wrote it just was really trying to hurt you.
Yeah.
It's
well,
so
and
sad.
At that point, I feel like when it goes that far, you just I dismissed it because I'm like, oh, this person clearly hates me. That's fine. I mean,
that person clearly hates themselves. They're a miserable person, and they're trying to make somebody else miserable, too.
Maybe so, but what I've been saying to people who, do get fired up about it, tell someone a compliment. Spread love. Let's try to stop with the hate. It's just, and I don't know. It could have been very hateful. I can imagine it was probably very hateful back in the 70s, and everything is cyclical and everything comes back. But I feel like right now with everything just in the climate that we're in right now, there's just so much hate. And I wish that people would just stop and think, like, how is this really affecting my life?
Exactly. And you know what, Carrie? Even though, and the sad thing is, it was very hurtful to you, the good thing is, when you look at kids who are in middle school and high school, and they got something that we didn't have to deal with when we were at school, this online bullying. And I bet there's a lot of kids that are listening, because we have a bunch of young people that listen, that are getting bullied online and are dealing with this kind of stuff. And for them to see and hear that this also happens to somebody like you, somebody's on TV that everybody loves, I think they can relate to it. I know I myself, when James and I have gone and done Facebook Live videos, I've had people pop in and, tell me I'm ugly and my hair makes me look old. James has been criticized. People have said
People
mean
always
things
telling me
to
that I'm
him.
too beautiful. And
Shut up.
all the time.
No.
I can't take it, Carrie. I just can't take it anymore.
Not even.
Yeah,
But
I
think it's important, even though it's an ugly, horrible thing that happened. In some ways, it's kind of good to open up that conversation and to show those kids in school who are dealing with this that it's not just them. It happens to a lot of people.
It is, and it's really finding a way to deal with it, because unfortunately, it's going to happen. I mean, I wish we could say, let's get rid of it, but that's not going to happen. I don't think that that's realistic. I always say about myself that I'm a realistic dreamer. I've got my head in the clouds, but my feet on the ground. And I just think that if we can just maybe help people understand how to take it and realize that it has nothing to do with you. Like, her comments had nothing to do with me. It was a reflection of herself. So when you say ugly things about people, it's a reflection of you and not anybody you're talking about or criticizing.
Are you angry at the person who wrote this email to you? How do you feel about them?
It honestly makes me sad a little bit. I mean, I joke around all the time saying I love love. Like, on Sunday, I did a recommitment ceremony for some friends of mine. Like, that's how much I love love. I'm so lucky in my life and so blessed that I have so much love now, and I had so much growing up. You know, I just feel like it's so important to let people know that it does. Words do hurt, and while I have received so many amazing messages and posts. I've received beautiful flowers. I mean, just wonderful, encouraging, uplifting words, and I appreciate that so much. And I just hope that people will continue to spread love instead of hate.
Women are so quick to judge each other and tear each other apart. We get this so much more. Like, a woman in the media so many times is judged by how she looks. It doesn't matter how smart she is or anything like that. So often we're judged on our looks, and it's really very unfair. And for other women to throw fuel on that fire by, criticizing a woman for her looks is just so terrible, and it just contributes to that problem.
I got a good email from a man in England, and he said, my mom used to always say, if you can't say anything nice, pause until you can.
When do you decide, I got to put this out there, and what makes you do it?
Well, it was almost immediate, actually. I didn't think on it a whole lot. I kind of reacted with my gut. I know that within the past year, I know there have been two, I don't know them personally, but I do know two meteorologists have committed suicide. And I know that part of it is being away from everything that you know, being in a place where you don't know much, you're not making much money, it's hard to make friends, and then people are telling you all the time how horrible you are, how wrong you are. You only get the weather right half the time, and you still get to keep your job. But I know that had to have contributed to it some, and people just feel like they can say anything, and instead of just getting the information and hoping that they can, push through that awkward phase, because it's awkward. I would love to challenge people to get on TV and say anything. Much less talk for 3 minutes about something even that you know about is a challenge. If you sit and talk in the mirror for 3 minutes and not stumble and be like, oh, what else am I going to say? Unscripted, especially for weather.
Right.
It's very difficult.
So where do you go from here? Do you just completely move forward? Is this going to be something where you kind of take up a cause?
Well, I would like to do something as long as it's spreading love and spreading the positivity. That's the biggest thing that I want to get out here, is to really bring to light that the negativity is going to be out there. So you've got to find ways to look past it.
And this is why I hope that you really take this and run with it, because you are inspirational, you are beautiful, and I think you are someone who is finding yourself in a position to where you could really make a difference.
Well, I hope so. I thank you. My sister sent me something that was awesome, and it said, reminder, losing weight only makes you lighter. It doesn't make you kinder, smarter, more creative, more passionate, more determined, or happier. You just weigh less.
Carrie, thank you for being on the show, but mainly glad you're okay. It's a weird situation when something goes viral, and now millions of people are seeing it across the world. So thank you for taking the time.
Oh, well, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it. You guys do an awesome job.
Thank you.
I wouldn't say awesome.
No, I would. That's my word. So take it and say thank you.
I got it. I grabbed it.
All right, good.
And by the way, if you have any more LuLaRoe, let me know, because you know how I like to wear them.
Did you know he wore some of mine?
Oh my God!
Did you see that video?
You'll have to send that to me.
Oh yeah, you got to see it. He put on my red pair with the little old radios and old TVs.
That's awesome.
Carrie, thank you so much for being on the radio program.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
All right, see you later.
Bye, Carrie.
Bye. She's sweet. All right, we are 107 The Monkey, and we'll be right back after these words.